50 seconds. VIP with the movie stars. Here we go, kids. What a doodle, as the grease man would say. Manalingalanga, like that one guy from the place. My access gear on, ready to go. What the hell? What? I feel like Stern. Here we go.
Another exciting excursion
to broadcasting.
Now broadcasting high atop the penthouse.
And we do broadcast.
They all know where he lives, and now you do as well. Jiggy Jaguar.
Hopping on that last train to Awesome Town.
It's been quite a July.
I wish they could hear my opening.
We'll get it going.
I told you never trust the monkey!
Jiggy Jaguar.
A drizzly day at the pond, but a chance to see a real
There we go.
The number one talk show host on the net. And the ratings prove it. From Asia to Canada.
She knows me, so she can't punch me.
Our show and that other show. We're not douchebags.
There are people that want to punch you.
There are people that want to punch me.
1242.
I got the microwave kings in the building. I ain't got to worry about nothing.
Not quite so easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, he may dress a little funny, and his hairstyle may be 10 years old, but
Might have
my
to trade
God,
seating.
what a voice.
Not for our main guest, though. All right.
Yes, indeed, it is the world famous Jiggy Jaguar show. I'm Jigman Freud, and I'll tell you, we're about to tick off a lot of people this afternoon.
Once they see, once they hear.
Once they see and hear me, the Rush Limbaugh of Internet Talk Radio, the Admiral of Alliteration, the Pimp Master General himself, the man with the #1 non-relevant website, and I'm like a eye in the sky in Las Vegas. I can see when the dealers are cheating. I can see when the people are cheating, because I'm doing it all from JiggyJaguar.com. By the way, I want to thank everybody on KJagRadio.com for listening in today. Also, SRN, the Spirit of South York, and all 50 other internet radio stations and AM, FM stations that are carrying our lovely broadcast today. Check us out online at livestream.com/JiggyJaguar. I'm Jigman Freud.
You mean you're actually on the air somewhere?
The aforementioned Jigman Freud. And today we have a lineup that literally could choke a cow, and believe me, when this is all over with, I will go take our lineup and try to choke a cow. We have Tim Hulskamp calling in on the telephone. Yes, that Tim Hulskamp.
And it's going to be a no-holes bar.
We're going to be chatting about my friend Tracy Mann, who is still ducking this radio broadcast and sample text. We will also talk to the band Demure. We'll also talk to the band Between the Buried and Me. They are both out on tour. Straight Line Stitch, who will be in this facility on Wednesday. We'll also talk to Jared Brickman via Skype from rockict.com. The Asylum inmates are in the building, or are going to be here soon, talking about the big Kung Fu Vampire show this weekend. And, oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you join us as well at livestream.com/JiggyJaguar. I have with us right now,
we're going to start it out nice.
We're going to start it out nice. Because we're going to be talking about a thing that I just did Friday, and it's called advanced voting. And Don Merriman is with us. What's going on, Don?
Well, I'm glad you guys were over there advanced voting with us.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
I am, I think. I don't know at this point right now, but I'm glad that we did have you over to vote. I'm happy for the voters who have come out. I'm only predicting about a 20% turnout for Tuesday, though.
Are you serious?
I'm afraid so.
As important as this primary is, Don, I mean that's worse than the off-year city commission election.
Exactly. It's same thing. We've got 106 different ballots out there. I'm holding a sample ballot, a pink one.
And you're holding it in the perfect place, right
holding
there.
a sample
Look
ballot.
at that. You could take Vanna White's job.
It's like sample text.
I could do a Vanna White thing.
Forget about that Vanna White. We've got Dawn. We got dangerous Dawn Merriman in the building. Look at this. Now,
But at any rate, we do
these.
have machines deployed out there. I think most people are enjoying voting on machines. This is actually the 8th election.
How
that
safe
we've
are
used
these
machines.
things?
Very
I've
safe.
always wondered what
the only thing they're plugged into is power.
Now,
That's it. They're not plugged into each
That's
other.
the only thing we've got. Capes Palomino over there plugged into his power. So it's the same
right.
thing.
They don't have any connection to the internet whatsoever.
Well, that's cool. That's cool because
and I understand.
you hear the horror stories all the time.
I know.
About,
But I understand
that's
these
awesome.
these machines are unlike some of the other electronic machines in that there's always a paper ballot that's printed along with it.
Exactly. It's
Is
called
that
a real-time audit log or voter verifiable paper audit trail. But at any rate,
It's a more expensive machine ultimately, but
Right.
more. It brings more integrity to the whole process of electronic voting.
exactly. What I always tell people is you have results in 4 locations on those machines. Four locations. It's on that real-time audit log, that piece of paper that prints off as you vote. It's on a little flash card that's located in the machine. It's on the personal electronic ballot at the end of the night. It's also on another printed piece of paper at the end of the night. So we have
Holy crap.
results in 4 places.
that's good.
And so they then all can be confirmed with each other.
Exactly.
And if you have to go
Verified.
back and check every paper ballot as for like a recount or whatever.
No hanging chads, this one. No more hanging chads.
Okay.
Look at this guy.
And it shows the voter as it prints out.
Exactly.
Your choices. So
Always
you're
like
seeing what the voter has seen.
I always like to joke. You want paper or you want plastic? You want paper or a voting machine? So it's paper or
Do
plastic.
you ever have anybody come in and say, I don't want to use those machines?
Exactly, we do, and I tell you, we realize that sometimes people just don't want to touch them. They think I'm not sure what they think they're going to do to them, but we let them have a piece of paper to vote on if that's what they wish.
Oh, really now?
Oh, yeah.
So just basically a one of these.
White version.
that doesn't say
That doesn't say
sample
sample all over it, but we do have a white version of the.
and it's exactly like the.
looks exactly like this.
Okay. And I guess we have an important deadline that we really need to put out there about advanced voting.
That's tomorrow, Monday, August 2nd at noon. Please don't come in afternoon because I'll have to turn you down.
But you see, that's what makes me call you the nicest public official in both the city and county government.
Thank you.
Because you're good to people. You patiently explain things exactly the way they're supposed to be. You never get angry. I would vote for you. What are you going to... Are you going to...
When are you going to run for something?
You've been doing this county clerk thing very adequately.
Don't you remember I was on the ballot in 08? Didn't you vote for me in 08?
Other than...
Everybody voted for the president, right?
Other than county clerk.
I don't know. I could run for something else that's possible,
You
but I
seem
don't
to
know.
be the least controversial elector, somebody we elect.
Elected official.
Elected official, because an elector sounds like a transformer.
The elector is you.
You couldn't be more neutral about everything. You follow the law to the letter.
Yes.
And I think your department goes out of its way in giving Salina and Saline County the fairest elections
Well, thank you.
possible.
Appreciate that.
Even though people don't show up. Come on.
I know. It's going to be 101 degrees, probably 110, who knows, 110 heat index, but still come out. All our voting locations, we have 44 of them. They're all air conditioned.
And that's where
Come
you
out.
have to vote on
Much
Tuesday.
like this
Exactly.
You cannot come in Tuesday to the city
No.
county building to his office and
No.
vote there.
No. And we'll tell you where to go.
Yeah, they'll
And
tell
exactly
you
how to get
nicely.
there.
Real nicely.
we do have 44 voting locations that will be open from 7 a.m., 7 p.m. on Tuesday, August 3rd.
And basically, the only requirement to vote
registered.
would be to be registered. Which when is generally the deadline for registration in most elections?
That's always 14 days out from the
Okay.
election. In other words, this year it was July the 14th or July 19th. I mean,
It is. If you look back in history, it's the fiascos that happened here in Kansas, which caused most states to do the voter registration thing. Did you know? Back in the.
Well, there's still one state that doesn't have voter registration. That's North Dakota. They do not have voter registration
at all. You can just show up at the polls and be angry.
You'd be angry.
Just show up at the polls and be angry.
Okay.
But the one thing
there are 3 states that actually allow felons to vote. I think Massachusetts allows their felons to vote while in prison.
Really?
Really? Did you know that?
No.
I think it's Massachusetts, Vermont, and I think Connecticut. Probably 3 of your most communistic states we have, but they are serious about the right to vote. They let felons vote, and I almost agree with them. We should let everybody vote as long as they're 18 years old and not mentally incompetent. But we do that.
That's another story.
Okay, we won't go there.
Now, when you may register and vote if you are a United States citizen, a Kansas resident, or at least 18 years old. Have you ever had anybody that's never been that's not a Kansas resident show up and try to vote? You guys have to go. You got to get the hell out of here.
Well, we don't say it in those terms. But,
okay.
But what we do.
That's why I don't work in your office.
What we do have is what we call provisional voting, and we've been doing that for several years. Sometimes they call it challenged voting for people who didn't get around to changing their name on the voter registration list or changing an address. We do let them go ahead and vote on Election Day, get them updated with a voter registration application, either for their name or for their address. We let them vote on a paper ballot and put it in an envelope, and then the county commission and I determine whether or not we're going to count that on the Friday after the election. It's called the canvass of the vote.
And what would cause you to count it or discount it?
The number one reason is that as far as counting goes, and again, that's state laws. Counting means is that if you're just making a change in your name or changing your address and you're registered somewhere else in Saline County, we'll count it. If you weren't registered anywhere else in Saline County, guess what? We're not going to count it. We'll let you vote. We don't count it because we're trying to stop any multiple voting. You've always heard, I'm going to go vote early, I'm going to vote often. Well, we're going to try to stop that because people can drive, they can vote here, they can go to Abilene, they can go all over the place, all the counties all surrounding all day long in 12 hours and vote multiple times.
It's almost like 160 years ago and the Missouri-Kansas things and them coming over for the day and voting.
Right, and that has gone on in Johnson County and Jackson County, Missouri, and they've actually taken those people to court, and not sure what kind of a
and imprisoned
judgment
them for 20
they have.
years.
Well, maybe, or
that would be, or tell them that's bad, bad.
I don't know what. At any rate, they were convicted. They were convicted of voter fraud.
Wow.
So, we do have a very tight election voter information system. We call Elvis for short.
I love it.
It's Elvis. A bunch of us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, a bunch of us came up with that name, and we use it today. In fact,
great.
Yeah.
So there are some politicians, I've heard ads this year.
So Elvis
so far.
is not dead.
Elvis is in the building, yes.
Not as long as Don Merriman is in charge, so keep electing him. I endorse him 100%, whether he is challenged by anybody else or not. And sometimes your name on the ballot is unchallenged.
3 times I've run, and that's been the case. You're
the Mike Tyson of politics.
It means you're doing your job right. And you've been doing this for some
10 years.
Just 10 years?
Just 10 years.
It seems more like
Seems
20.
longer sometimes, yeah, but it's just 10.
And 3 times, it's inexplicable.
He's the Rolls Royce of political officials.
But I have one difficult question then.
That's what it is.
I have heard politicians ads this year saying, I advocate what is it?
Term limits?
No, IDs to vote. You know,
I wholeheartedly do not agree with that.
Good. Okay, we have a position statement from a candidate in the future.
Yeah, because there's all these guys that are going,
we need IDs. Blah, 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 blah.
I don't ever see a need for that.
Well, then why couldn't somebody, vote here and then go to Solomon and say, I'm this person and I want to vote? Because they'd have to register twice and then they get stopped and imprisoned.
That's the neat thing about Elvis, our election voter information system. We're going to stop that stuff.
This has a lot of integrity, I take it.
It's a very, very tight system.
You know what's funny about that is that their Elvis has integrity. The other Elvis, well, not so much. It's kind of
Elvis has more integrity today than he did 30, 40 years ago.
And his estate's got a lot more money.
That's right. Even though he makes over $50 million a year, and he's dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
At any rate, our goal is to stop any chances of fraud. I mean, that's number one.
So then, showing your Kansas ID or Kansas driver's license will be unnecessary.
I feel it is. There are candidates saying that we have to have ID. I do not agree that we need to do that.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got that difficult question in.
Now, another thing that seems to be going on is with this advanced voting, do you have people, the minute that it's available to do advanced voting, do you have people show up?
Yes.
Immediately?
Yes,
That's
they're
awesome.
there at 8 o'clock in the morning usually.
Saying, I want to vote. I want to
Not standing in line, but there's one. Well,
it's not like
it's
a
a line of
Metallica
one, but now in November of 08,
they don't camp out.
The presidential election of 08, we did have people literally getting there 7 o'clock in the morning and stuff, and that was such a hugely contested election, historic election, I think, and I'm really proud to be involved in that. But at any rate, we had people waiting in line ahead of time.
Were they mostly Democrats or Republicans?
I would guess D's, but I don't know that.
You
for
would
sure.
guess by the way
that would be my
look.
speculation. No.
Oh, okay.
Why is it, in your opinion, because I don't want you to speak on the record on this, but in your opinion, why is it that Republicans don't allow independents to vote in the primary?
That's a difficult question.
That's a good one. The theory is they want Republicans voting on a Republican ballot.
Okay, because that's what I've always thought.
Now,
because they'd be like, those damn liberals might sneak in and say that they're Republicans,
but
they're not.
Right. You have to align yourself with the Republican Party to get the Republican
Now,
ballot.
do most Kansas counties that you know of do this? I know they've done this for here forever, because I am an independent, and I sometimes would like to vote.
I'm independent.
I'm independent, yes.
I know,
I'm a registered
I'm
independent.
independent.
I take the idea of my vote as being a secret ballot.
Sure. Well, that's supposed to
I'll
be.
talk politics all day and issues and stuff, but when somebody wants to know, well, who'd you vote for? Well, that's a secret ballot.
Right.
I mean, it's irrelevant.
Right.
So I say that the Saline County Republicans are denying me, to do that, it's determined on a county by county basis.
It's a state rule.
Really?
It's a state Republican Party saying we want it done this way. State Democratic Party saying, well, you can affiliate with the Democratic Party or not. This is a Republican.
This is a statewide thing.
This is statewide. This is a primary for the state of Kansas. 105 counties. It's done the same way. At least it's supposed to be done the same way. If the Republican Party calls the shots for their ballot, Democratic Party calls the shots on their ballot.
But as for the Democrats, they can say, Democrats and independents or other party affiliate. I mean, what if you're a libertarian? Can you vote on the
Libertarian Reform Party do not get to vote in this election, the primary.
Right,
because they have their own party nominating conventions.
Right.
In November, you'll see Libertarian and Reform Party candidates on the November ballot, the general election ballot.
Right.
They have their own nominating conventions for their members. But they are not, they were the only ones in this election that are not eligible. We have about 250 Libertarians in Saline County and about 25 Reform Party people in Saline County.
And the Libertarians, there's like two of them. There's Mike Trow and Mike Wilson, and they meet at
very
McDonald's
small-
every week.
Well, there's
But
still
very-
another 248 of them.
But very very small, but dedicated and vocal
Yep.
group.
They're like fire ants.
It's like America.
Oh, okay.
You know, it should
I was
be
thinking
that
they're like
way.
fire ants. They attack people.
I would say to the Republicans, who many times have been my friends in the political world, as for, yeah, I may well have voted for him, but you'll never be able to find out how.
Do you need a broom? What's going on here? Are you going to fly around? What?
The Republican Party needs to allow independents to vote in their primaries. Is my personal opinion.
Without affiliating, you mean?
Without affiliation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now them damn libertarians and stuff. Yeah, shove off them gutter snipes. But you need to let the independents go. You know, those who declare themselves independents.
Now, do you think that with this race, with all the races coming up Tuesday, have you noticed there's been a lot of people streaming in for the advanced voting that are like, you know, they're passionate and they're there and they make sure to get their I voted sticker at the end, or like I tried the other day where I tried to take two and commit voter fraud. And
You can have two stickers. You only get to vote once.
Oh, okay.
Why are you wearing yours?
Yeah, where is
Or
it?
not
It's
you
over
wearing-
there on the wall.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
It's on my lanyard.
Okay. all right.
Have you voted yet, there, Don?
I have not.
Why
Nope.
don't you?
I'm going to go up. I'm going to vote Tuesday.
There we go.
There it is.
There's mine. So I voted.
Yes, in advance. You
see.
did.
Now, you guys also make and I'm assuming that this is kind of like a warning label on products, you know, like coffee is hot, it will burn you. But this line at the bottom that says ballots will not be counted until Election Day, did you have to put that in because stupid people kept showing up and going, whoa, my ballot going to be counted, man?
We want people to know that they're going to stay there in the locked in area in an envelope if they've been mailed back to us.
In a lockbox, like
In a
Al Gore.
lockbox on At any rate, they're locked up until election night.
You may cast your ballot by mail starting 20 days before the election. Another voter can deliver your application for you. If you're sick or disabled, you can receive assistance from another voter
Right.
with proper authorization. What does that mean?
If you are homebound, anybody that's homebound can't get out at all, you can have somebody assist and come down and get that ballot for them, for
that's cool.
the sick or disabled.
That's cool.
Take the ballot to them and wherever they are, and that person giving assistance can bring the ballot back to
That's
us.
cool.
All ballots need to be back to us by 7 p.m. on election night. They can be walked in, or of course they'll come in the mail in the morning. But at any rate, people can lend assistance to those who are homebound for one reason or the other, and take care of the voting for them.
And you guys start updating your website when on election night?
Typically around 7:45 when we first start getting some of the precincts coming in. It takes them a little while to get closed down. We start counting all of the advance first, of course, because they're already there.
Look at that.
Got a caller.
Somebody's calling me. KJ Radio, this is James. What's up?
Hey, James, it's Christina at Victory.
Hey, how are you? We're in the middle of a live radio show. How are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm at the lake just swimming.
Okay. Well, hey, what's your business, my friend?
I wanted to see Mike from Emir's phone number so you can call him.
Okay, you're probably gonna have to just send that to me via email because I don't want to give that out over the air.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to make sure you got it in case there was an email lag or anything because they have a short window to talk because they're unwarped and you know what I mean.
That'll work. Well, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Send me that information and we'll get it going. There she goes. There goes Christina from Victory Records, just out the door.
Why is it
She's like a
phones-
hot goat under a rainfall.
Phones
Okay.
always go off.
Because it's the big show. Because this is like a this place is like a blowfish in a twine factory. This place is like a tarantula at a picnic. And we have people coming through the door or something, maybe.
No, you need to point at the camera.
Oh,
angry.
point at the camera. Perpetual Fist, that band from Hutch. Okay.
Okay, back to election issues.
Now back to Don and the civilization that we all live in.
I had one
Your voice, your vote. Can we put? Do you guys have T-shirts? Election 2010, your voice, your vote, with that logo on
I
it.
do not have. No, it's a good idea though.
I want election T-shirts.
We'll help you get it out. At least
You need election T-shirts. You need You need advanced voting breakfast cereal. You need the advanced voting lunchbox. You need the advanced voting flamethrower.
We will display the registered trademark that they've created there.
Yes, they have a registered trademark.
Service mark. Yes.
Yes, but now you also mentioned on here that if you're a registered voter, now you can vote at your convenience before Election Day. Why did you guys? Do you know the history of that? Why did that happen instead of just show up the day of vote, let's go?
Well, it's an issue of verification. We talk about ID. We do ask for ID for the first-time voters in the county. So if you registered to vote, you've shown us an ID. You're a brand new voter, 18 years old, or you're a 80-year-old just moving into Saline County. We ask for ID that one time only, and so we can verify.
It's kind of a situation of
right. You can verify who you say you are.
Okay.
Just that one time.
That's good. Because I'll tell you, it could be a circus.
And I had one last question for him before he says, "I got to get out of this circus. What's going on here?"
Okay, go ahead.
But no, since he is a man who's willing to say, "I do not support." Having to give your license every time, to vote. That's a good position to have. It gets more people to vote. How about like the model that Oregon has? They have 100% mail-in, and they have up to 70% voter participation.
Actually, up to 85. I happen to know the Oregon election director.
Wow.
Well,
former director. He's named John Lindback from out there.
Get him on the
and I talked to him a couple years ago about that model, and they've been doing that since 1985. And they typically get 85 to 90% returns on their all-mail ballots. They don't have any polling places at all. They do every election by mail. State of Washington
Get rid of those
had just
pesky
started.
volunteers at the polling places.
They've got 85% in all the male ballots, and probably all the female ballots too.
Could be.
Right.
Could be.
I was a little punny there. All right, okay.
At any rate, they drop them. They have drop-off boxes for them. Of course, people can drop them off at the election office and naturally send them back by mail.
As long as it's postmarked by the end of Election Day.
Right, exactly. I mean, they still have that, like the November 7th, 2008 election. That's the date of the election. So all ballots have to be back there by that time. But they can bring in election workers, start doing preliminary counts, especially in those big counties where you have 2 million voters, for instance, and have that all done. And to me,
what about letting those numbers out to the public, though? I mean, before the election,
they don't. It's just the way with me. I mean, I'll know some results before 7 o'clock.
Sure.
I will, but nobody else is going to know that, and I will not tell anybody results.
It's because you have integrity.
Good man. I like to hear
that. That he doesn't want to lose his spot.
I like to hear
I like my job.
That's right. You don't want to lose that spot. Because good God, it's hard out here. You're
Well, good. You have such great. We need to talk politics more with this man.
We need to bring him on. You need to come on Sample Text and debate that hack Gary Schwartzendruber and the rest of them. We love Gary.
I do too.
We did our last.
Sure he talks to
our
you
last sample. Our last sample text. We were supposed to have Tracy Mann on. That's before he ducked me and pulled out at the last minute and gave me some BS excuse. So Gary impersonated Tracy. So every once in a while he would go, "Well, now speaking as Tracy Mann," and then he would go through the viewpoints.
In my time with the
so
you got to watch the archive.
You know Gary. He's he's Gary.
Yep. He's Gary.
Now I appreciate you doing this, Don. Advanced voting ends
Monday, August 2nd at noon. So please don't come in after that time. I do not of course, I'm a county election officer, so the last thing I want to tell people is no, I can't let you vote. But afternoon on August 2nd, Monday, I can't let you vote until the next morning at 7 a.m. So polls open August 3rd, 7 a.m., 7 p.m. Hard-working election workers will be there at 6 a.m. getting things ready. They'll be there at after 7, sometimes 7:30, 8 o'clock, getting things bundled up to bring back to us. We'll start having election results on our website, www.saline.org, starting somewhere around between 7:30 and 7:45, I hope.
And as you announce those, down in the first floor, I take it you'll be announcing these like you usually
exactly.
do. The website will be updated.
Yes, it'll be updated at the same time. Actually, I take those results to the person doing that first before I even come downstairs.
We're thinking about doing a live remote from an undisclosed location in Salina, just to keep it secret.
Yeah, because we have spies and they don't like me.
Yeah, and that'll be great. We'll be able to bring another computer.
And we'll just be able to pull the results up instantly.
And it'll be
that will be fun.
Neat.
Well, I appreciate it, Don. Thanks for coming into the thanks for coming into the lines, Dan.
Oh, you bet.
Hopefully we'll have you back with a scared job.
Okay. All right.
And we're going to take a quick time out here on the world famous Jiggy Jaguar show. I want to thank everybody for listening to us on SRN1, the Spirit of South York at 148.ca in South York, Canada, and our other various affiliates. Livestream.com/Jiggy Jaguar. We're getting the hell out of here. We'll be back in a minute.
A viewer note.
What?
Tim Hill's going to go off. I'm going to go off live stream for just a couple minutes, but we'll be back if you're viewing us.
We'll be back in just a second.
But you can still hear us on kjagradio.com.
All right, that'll work. We'll be back in just a second.
Jiggy Jaguar, wired for sound from JiggyJaguar.com. Catch him on my